So I want to share with everyone what I've been doing and how I use it. These are all my custom chats that I have. I've just figured out how to do music, and it's a lot of fun. I have a YouTube channel called the Law Center, and generative AI allows me to make music, and I'll demonstrate one later. But this is a custom instructions that I gave so that my songs would all be a similar style and whatnot. I have the next one is the Law Center Marketing Master Guide. Here's the thought that I had for my other project, the Law Center, which is legal videos. What I've done is I've gone to the best lawyer blogs in the country, cut and pasted them all, and uploaded all of them into the massive library that these custom chats can hold. And I'm still in the process. It's taking me a long time, but I intend to have almost several thousands of pages that I would, well, maybe not several thousands, but certainly hundreds and hundreds. Actually, I do think it's getting up there. But anyway, and then I'm going to ask it, write me video content from this enormous amount of content. So, and I don't feel that's plagiarizing because it's drawing from it. They put it online, and I'm going to ask them to put my style and my fingerprint. But that's a use that we have. We can, if we're in an industry, you can borrow the information that's put online and ask it to think and draw conclusions from the stuff that's up there. I went to the next one down is this legislative draft assistant. I went to a conference where we made model legislation. And what I did here is I uploaded templates or I uploaded other model laws, put it in there. And then I, described with the laws that I was inputting. And I said, look, these don't go far enough. We want to go farther. These are from liberal jurisdictions. We want something that's not watered down and put conservative jurisdictions. And these outputs served as model templates that we are using in our advocacy. A docu-guide is the next one down. I have about 10 hours of video content from my work with this group called the PA Campaign for Greater Father Involvement. I uploaded the entire transcripts of every interview that I did. And there's software available that you can edit video from transcripts. So I have the transcripts up. I am asking it to summarize, to ingest all the content and help me write my script for the documentary I'm going to write. This process would have been enormously burdensome, but I'm going to be able to have AI as my assistant and hopefully save me an enormous amount of time. Video script master. What I do is I get book PDFs from my fellow authors. I upload it in this script master and I describe what a song should look like. The length, the opening catch hook, a middle part, and an end, some type of call to action. So I have it asked once, or I can issue one prompt. Just give me several song titles, then give me song lyrics. And again, it's all from the authors and the people who are producing that. And then I ask them to write me scripts, and then they become the videos that I then produce. And I'm working with several authors right now. Jim, go ahead, Jim. Jump in real quick. I want to try and fly because I have so much, but let's do Q&A. Go ahead.
So I advocate that AI, and I have an open AI account. I wrote the paper for the UN using AI, but it's like Google times 10. I mean, it is a very powerful tool, and it's being proliferated. Just people who tend to engage in it. Second question, and this is a question. So a lot of people have a fear of the copyright stuff, and most web pages have a copyright. And what people need to understand is that as long as you give credit to the source of that issue, but I wanted to come up want to get your reading on the copyright issue.
So I'm going to answer that by saying this. I have permission from the authors to use their sources. My law partners, I refer them cases, so they have no problem with me doing this. The authors, I contact the author directly. So I don't have a copy problem. I have written permission. They're sending me the stuff for me to do this. So that's the one thing. The second thing is copyright. I think you're in trouble when you cut and paste because then you are taking someone else's work. But when you upload it into into chat, a custom chat, and you say, look, I respect this author and I want you to I want you to read this and help me do as follows, something different. They'd lose the copyright. The whole purpose that they're giving you the information is they want it to influence society. They want people to learn and grow from it. So you are then making that content, you are adding to it, you are developing. It's the same thing in academia. So to the extent that you get something direct, yeah, of course you have to cite it. But the other thing I want to add to that, that's my initial answer. The second answer is that there is litigation going on this exact topic. Suno AI, the Suno songwriter, or the platform that I'm using to make songs, they trained their software on other people's music because I can say, I want this in the style of 80s pop or an 80s love song or Baroque period. Baroque is several hundred years later, so I don't have a copyright problem. They're no longer copyright protected, but they're training these on other people's work. So there is a huge class action litigation going on, but us using it, I think, is low risk. Them having it, they have lawyers working for them right now, but it's going to be, they figure it's more cost saving for them to do what they're doing and settle the cases later. So I say green light. You know, I'm not giving legal advice right now. I'm telling you what I'm doing. And so I don't have a concern for those reasons. I'm going to move on because I have so much to cover. Okay, my wife Laura is an author, and she has been on Fox News as a consultant for speech consultant for candidate speeches. So I told her she was stressed going over the candidates' debates, the presidential debates. So I said, look, get a transcript. First of all, I took everything she wrote. She wrote a weekly blog and she did many about politics. I uploaded it and then I said, look, get the YouTube transcript right when it's done. Cut, paste, upload. And ever since she started using it, you can see she's already used it 30 times. She's using it for her weekly newsletters. And to me, that's a powerful way for authors to get their own work and help and to expedite and save the process or to automate the process that if you do a weekly newsletter or if you are consulting about the same thing over and over and over again, everybody should be doing this. Next one, the ICMB writing assistant. I have every word of our website, of our press releases, uploaded in here so that when I want to write someone, when I want to write a new press release, if I draft a speech, they already know everything about ICBM that there is to know. So when I write, and they know our style of writing, they know our messaging style. So I always say, in the style that I have been writing, write a press release about the following topic. Jim, can you keep that question to 30 seconds or 20 seconds? Because otherwise, we're going to have to do this in two. Go ahead.
I just wanted to ask you about Read AI. So I have a read. Well, I've been invited to Read AI, and it looks like you're using something popped up on my screen here. It said Read AI.
Yeah, listen, I use so many stuff. I use Zoom, Workforce, and I'm actually also recording on something called Fathom is recording, which is going to give me something so much more powerful than that. I actually can't get rid of it. I don't know how to get rid of it. I tried. So let's hold that thought. We'll talk afterwards. Let me just continue with the presentation.
Go ahead.
Parenting guide. I asked chat. I have a high I have a very challenging 8-year old. So what I decided to do is do a search. Tell me about the books of the best childhood expert authors on childhood behavior. And I had a list of 20 or 10 to 20. And then I typed in each author one by one, author PDF. And I found 8 of them, 8 out of 20. I haven't finished yet, but it's my plan to upload it every doctor's appointment for his regular checkups. We talk about some issues that he's having in school and things. I asked for a report. His behavior is much better. So I really didn't get to this. I haven't completed this. I just want to tell you something that's very doable here, and I'm still going to do it for later. But I'm going to upload his medical records, and I'm going to say, please give me parenting best practices on how I can help this child deal with this high energy, this outbursts, these interruptions and behavior so that, based upon what his experts are saying and based upon your collective best practices. Now, is there copyright there? Is there a copyright issue? I'm not publishing it. I'm actually drawing on their collective expertise to help me with that. I'm not going to sell it. I'm just learning for it, learning from it. So it's something that just, again, I'm trying to unlock doors and possibilities. And my next question is, who is using custom chats and how is it helping? So that's the parenting guide. Custody court companion. I have an online program. I haven't gotten to this. I'm going to get every script of every training session that I've produced, upload it in here, and offer that to my customers and clients as a free Q&A with all the waivers, with all the disclaimers attached. Laura is again my wife's name, but that is my app that I talk to when I'm driving. It's a friendly AI companion offering support and conversation. So, and that's they titled it that. I did not put that there. They put it there. But it's just my software. So if you guys are not, if you're going on a long walk and you're bored, or if you're on a long drive, you should be conversing and having this teach you anything you want to know about anything, because it will. It's updated to it'll tell you because it's on the app, but it's only current as to October 2023, the last I checked, but I'm sure they'll update soon. So that's an extremely powerful use of getting value from your $20 subscription. All right, Bill, you are in the room. I think I saw you there, but I just want to show some prompts. Prompts to overcome online bias. Prompts to overcome legal bias.
Okay.
These are two potential, or these are ways to again overcome online bias. So there's two different things that you can do. You can say, "Hey, chat, please avoid online bias that's out there." Or you can have another chat. Hey, Mr. Legal Research Assistant, please avoid any legal research bias. Bill is going to share with us why that is not as good as iterating different chats and getting a whole list of prompts to do that same task. Go ahead, Bill. You're muted. Bill, you with me or are you on the phone? I think Bill, you there? Can you hear me? Bill Corbett. I think he's having a conversation with else. So here's the point. If you want a task done, you can't just say, well, you can, but it's not nearly as good as and effective as just putting in, please avoid any online bias, because it doesn't have enough information. So Bill, in his consulting, noticed that he wasn't getting good results, or people that were just saying that weren't getting good results. So you go through a process of testing, and each time you test, you get another way to avoid that issue. So I will, Bill is a member of DAVIA, and hopefully before we're done, he'll put his email in if anyone has legal research or wants to avoid that online bias. But I also want to suggest to you the best way to do this for anything you want to avoid. If you want to do something, you have a two-step for anything and everything. Think of what you want to do. I want to avoid online bias or legal research bias. Then upload into chat. I want to avoid this. I want to avoid online bias. Please give me prompts that I can put into my custom chat or each search, if I don't have a custom chat, to be able to accomplish this. Don't just put in what you want it to do. Ask. Take that other step. What prompt will I get? What are the best practices in a prompt so that you will deliver as follows? So you have that two-step process. Please be aware that before you get it, you're going to get far more effective results if you do that two-step process. Okay, here is another use, and this is how powerful video content creation. For those of you who did not attend the press release in July online or and see my friend Danica's presentation, let me just show you 10 seconds of it.
Fellow advocates, I'm Danica Joan Dockery.
Hold on, let me give you
and
sound.
It's an honor
It just
to be
occurred
a
to me that I
presenter
didn't give
at the
sound.
inaugural
Oh, I did.
conference for International Council for Men and Boys. Today, I'm excited to delve into the critical work we do at Kids Need Both, Inc. and our strategic partnership network, Hope for Families.
All right. From my video content creation, knew that that wasn't her, that that is her avatar. Did anyone else know that in watching it, or would you have been fooled in seeing that? I know Danica, so I can see that slow, deliberate, wasn't natural. I see Mike nodding his head. I don't want to keep sharing and not sharing. But anyway, this is a software called HeyGen. And you can do one free, as you can see, but it's somewhat expensive, and I suppose it should be because look how powerful it is. And one thing that could justify that expense is that you can, with a few clicks, you can speak 175 languages. So in a group like DAVIA, that could really be a good way to get a message out. So you'll have the avatar speaking in a different language. This is really cool. Moving on. This is I'm giving a lot of these resources from someone else, which during some question and answer, I will give that. Unfortunately, I don't have it off the top of my head, but people pay a lot of money to hear him talk about AI. So I just wanted to give that source in a moment. But anyway, Ideogram AI helps you produce memes. And as you can see just from this screenshot, this person had no content creation skills. This is all language based created. So it's a much more powerful than whatever custom instructions that they gave it in this software. It's better than what we're doing just by using Microsoft, I'm sorry, Copilot, ChatGPT, or anything else. And these are the costs. So you recall our friend John Davis giving tips on how to do memes. If you're doing them every day, $7 or $16 might be a drop in the bucket for you. Bill, go ahead. I see your hand up.
Yeah, what's the spelling? So when I do auto-generated memes, it always mucks up the spelling and the wording and the lettering. Have you used that and seen how that produces the spelling and the lettering?
I have to be honest, I am not an expert with this, and I gave up because it would take too much time. I consider myself a master with the video content stuff, and I could get around all the tricks. But Bill, honest to goodness, I got discouraged from using this. You can see, no, it's the truth. I'm going to be open with you. I had the free version, and I'm already spending more time. So what I do is listen, I hate to use a negative term, plagiarize, but apparently there's a custom online where if you screenshot the logo or you add the logo of the producer, no one's going to really give you a hard time. They really want their logo and the free press. Like TikTok allows like there's some unspoken or custom that if you're giving attribution where you're showing that logo, no one complains. And I got this from a DAVIA member, Nicole Anderson with Alienation Resources. So that's how I create my memes now. I go search other people's viral stuff and I put their logo on, and produce it that way. So moving on,
So
did you want to finish, Bill, before I move on?
yeah, real quick. So if you go to my Medium account, those memes in the Medium account are generated through GPT. And what I do is once I finish the research article, I attach the research article into GPT and I tell GPT, just give it the construct to develop a meme that best represents the article, but also draws the viewer's attention to the article. And it puts out really, really great ones. Grok used to not be so good, but if you go look at the difference in the memes, Grok's gotten a lot better. There's a meme where I talk about the disenfranchisement of the male voter. That's a Grok meme. The memes coming out of Grok are so scarily lifelike. It's getting better and better. So just to kind of that's how I generate the memes for the articles.
Bill, if you could put your email address in the chat, number one. Number two, Grok AI, that's a platform. You muted, but I think that was an
Yes,
affirmative.
sorry. Yeah, Grok AI comes with the X platform. If you sign up for the premium account, you get free access to Grok. And Grok stands for truth, by the way. So you get access to the AI interface through having the premium account on X. So if you got an X account, you sign up for the premium, you get free access to Grok. Now Grok can upload and analyze PDFs. Before it couldn't. So I'd have to cut and paste the text, but it's text limited. Eventually they're going to bring on, you can upload Word docs and Excel just like GPT does. But Grok, when it does its imaging, they're really focusing on bringing out a lot of the humanistic features of people
Good. So
versus.
great. I have a question on that. I didn't mean to cut you off, just so we're so pressed for time. So my question is, do you use the first iteration, or do you have to keep talking to it? And how long does it take for you to get something that's print worthy?
For the articles, usually the first one. Usually the
Oh,
first one.
okay. Yeah, I'd love
Usually
to
the first
see.
one.
And where are these? All your memes are on your where? Twitter account,
So
Bill?
yeah, so you go to my Medium account, you go to my link tree, you can go to my Medium account, you can look at the memes for the different research articles I've done. Those are all, I can't think of one. Well, there's one I handcrafted, which is my theory that's being reviewed by UC Berkeley, death triangle theory. I created that one by hand, but the other ones are upload the document. I tell GPT, do this. It boom, it hits it the first time.
Bill, could I impose upon you to put that link, your account meme link in the chat? And I
Yeah.
also want to ask Jim, I'm sorry, Bill and Jim, each of which will add a question. Do you guys mind if I put this recording on YouTube? Let me know if you object. All right, I'm going to keep moving. So here is what they allow, except that I can't imagine why anyone would want to use this if Grok is that good, because Grok, my understanding, is less expensive, and you could get your memes out with through that premium account much easier. But you put in a prompt for something that you want, and then it gives you a translated magic prompt. The one other thing that I want to add is, I'll bring up a point later because I want to show you what's out there in terms of subscriptions, but I don't recommend that because when you see that magic prompt, it does that magic prompt. You can actually ask chat, this is what I want. But is there a better way to ask you to do this? Is there a magic prompt that you'd give me? Chat would do that. It would give it to you. You just have to take that second start. That's that second step in getting there. All right, here's another resource that I found, and this is free. It's Notebook LM, and it's run by Google. I am not going to demonstrate it in case, but what I did is I screen clicked my mouse. I'm going to click try Notebook LM, and this is the next thing. It says this is your personalized AI research assistant, and it tells you to upload PDF, websites, videos, audio files, Google Docs, or Google Slides, and Notebook LM will summarize them and make interesting connections between topics, all powered by Google. Gemini 1.5 is Google. The next, I'm scrolling down. It says, with all of your sources in place, Notebook LM gets to work and becomes an AI expert in the information that matters most to you. So you can put your own website in, or you put someone else's that you want to know everything that they know, or a really fascinating website that you think is powerful and has information that you want to learn from. Instead of reading the whole thing, use this notebook AI. Then they will give you the source, not just the answer. And I am going to demonstrate. I'm going to click create new, and then I'm going to put in my website. I'm going to click website. I put in an online program that I have with all the marketing material, with all the testimonials. I click that, and I don't know if this is blocking you guys, so I'm going to move this up. So I click the notebook guide to see what it's going to show me. And then it gives you an audio overview in the format of a podcast. So this is a little heady. I just want to show in case any of you guys want to do this, but it gives you an interview discussing your own content.
Welcome back, everybody, for another deep dive.
This is it.
This time, we're going to be tackling family court and child custody, which might be relevant to a lot of you out there.
Yeah, definitely a topic that I think a lot of people are curious about, but maybe don't really know that much about.
Exactly, and that's where our source material comes in.
Okay.
Empower yourself with the Family Court Custody Bootcamp. This is a program developed by Larry DeMarco, who's a lawyer, but get this, he actually spent over a decade navigating the family court system himself before becoming an attorney.
Wow, so he's seen it from both sides.
So I want to stop that and let you know that was false. I also want to point out the limitations. I was a lawyer when I went through this. So you don't always get you have to proofread stuff or do your diligence. So I just want to point out that fault, but I suppose it was implied, but it drew a presumption through its pattern recognition software that I had done that. I'd never said that I did that before I became a lawyer. Anyway, Bill, can you keep this under 10 seconds unless you have one of those smoking good additional resources that you want to add for us?
I've actually used this. It works very good.
All right. Thank you. Good. I
Yeah,
saw
I've
you
got
nodding as I was going through. Thank you for your comment.
Yeah, it works really good.
Good to know. So I'm going to just keep on moving through. That's Notebook. And again, in the bottom left, you see my bold free. Have they ever started to charge you, Bill, or you can still use it?
You can still use it. You have to be careful about how many you put in. You don't want to run over your limit, but it works really, really good.
Good to hear. Awesome.
Welcome back, everybody.
Okay, the next free thing is really, really powerful. And especially for those of us who do research and this Perplexity AI. So I'm going to go right into a demonstration. This is free, and this is an example of what I did. But the idea is if you do a search with Perplexity, it will give you, instead of Google, it's really a AI-powered web browser or web crawler. So what I asked it to do in the input is please give me a complete background for Richard Reeves. I want to approach him and ask him to appear on my podcast. Tell me everything you can about him, personal life, interests, likes, past details that will help me build trust and engagement and negotiate with him positively and ethically. So here is what it came out. This is the top of my screen is what I just read to you. Now I'm going to click search, or now I'm going to give you the results after I inputted this. What I did is I recorded its response so that I wouldn't have trouble because there was too much to screenshot. So here it is. There's the answer. Summary him, his background, his career highlights, his education, areas of expertise, writing and speaking. So notice they're just not giving me the website. They're summarizing it for me in response to the information that I said I wanted them to give it. And so they give me all these other things that I can click. For instance, what are his most notable achievements where he works? So I can say, boy, I applaud you for this. And again, it doesn't just give me a press release. It summarized 10 of those. And I'm going to now click another one. What is he doing at the American Institute for Boys and Men? How has it impacted his career? And it summarizes that answer. It gives me a summarize of everything. So again, you can't find this otherwise. This is AI at work. for you. This is Perplexity AI, and it's free. What topics? Well, and even more. It says relate another five. What was that question? What topics? It's going a little fast. Sorry about that. Most notable. What are some topics he's written about? Was that previous one? Can you provide examples of his speaking engagements? It's giving me that. So I guess it's going through his CV, but if he doesn't have his CV posted, it's just going stuff. It's on his website. All right, so you get the point there. Let me move on. So that you can see how powerful that is. Here is another company, Napkin AI. It turns your text, you upload text, and it gives you visuals. Sharing your ideas sharing your ideas would be quick and effective. Here's how it works. Start by pasting your text, and I'm screenshotting their instructions on their website. Number 2, click to generate visuals. 3, polish it up, make it yours. This is my example. I cut and pasted. If anyone attended the press release, the press conference on November 19th, this is my presentation. This was I wanted to make a visual presentation. I asked it to make me 12 slides or one main slide, then we'd go 12 slides. I don't remember exactly what the prompt was, but this is what I uploaded it, and I asked it for a visual chart to show me a relation. Please create a 13-slide presentation visualizing the interconnections among the 12 key areas of male disadvantage, along with an additional slide on economic insecurity and underemployment. Each slide should center on one primary item and show its connections to other related items as indicated by the bolded text and numbers that I just showed you previously. Guys, this is what it gave me, which I thought was pitiful or just didn't work. So it didn't work for me. I told Ed, I knew I had this software. I said, yes, I could do this easily. And then I had to go do it manually. So this didn't work, but look, it's here and it's going to get better. So I just wanted you to be aware of it. I wouldn't pay for it. There's a free version. See if you have any better luck than me because it can make presentations for you. Another one, Gamma AI. Beautiful This is the second presentation software that Dr. Stevens said he wanted me to put his written presentation on a screen, which I knew wouldn't work. So I did try this, and this was extremely effective. So here's how much it costs, or this is the price. This is reasonable. And if you have to give a presentation and you want this to do it, I want you to know, there's a free plan. You can test it. When I tested, it really gave me a good start. And it gave me a good presentation that Dr. Stevens said was really good. He didn't want to use it for other reasons, but he said, wow, that was really good. So this is an article written by Dr. Farrell that I just cut and pasted. And I'm going to ask it to give me a presentation. Click continue. So here's his article that he wrote on November 10th. And this is the steps that you would take to do it. You'd pick a theme. So you click one of those boxes in the right-hand corner. You click generate. And these are the slides in the left-hand corner that it created. And what I would call that is a great start. So anyone who has to do a presentation, I would go and test this for yourself because you may or may not want to use it, but you can edit it. So it gives you a style that you want without having to do that from scratch, which I thought was effective or helpful. Oh, wait a minute. Do I have a video here? Yeah, I do. Here, let me show it to you. So this is screen 1. Scrolling down, screen 2. So this is the kind of thing, and you can edit each picture. You can edit each bullet, but you can see it really gives a good start on breaking that stuff down. And this is everything that was in what was in his article broken down through presentations. And again, it gives you a library of visuals that you can use. And you can see his article was discussing, all these different topics, opportunities, and so forth. Okay. That is Gamma. Opus clip. Here is one that I'm going to show you that I don't think is good for advocates like ourselves who have limited budgets. So I wouldn't do this, but let me just show you what it does. It's called Opus Clip, and it says you put in a long video. So basically, put in your podcast appearances, and you're going to get 10 viral clips created 10 times faster. And this is the pricing, which to me, I'm going to keep moving. Ready to multiply your content. Here's different types of plans. Oh, this is Cast Magic, but they're both doing the same thing. Okay, Opus Clip and Cast Magic are uh, two different softwares that do the same thing. Multiply your content by 10 times. And so I asked it what it does. I did this chat and I said, so what does it do? Or I cut and pasted its own marketing of what it does. And then I said, wait a minute. And this is what I asked Chat. Couldn't you do that for me if I just upload my own transcript and ask you to do this? And sure enough, it does. So here's a use that I want you to use, ChatGPT, because again, these two companies think it's so valuable to do that we can do on our own, and they're just trying to save major businesses time. But we can do this ourselves. Upload your transcript of your podcast and ask it to do exactly what's here. Do the following for me. They just cut and paste Cast Magic's offer, and then ask Chat to do it manually, and you'll get the same. Result. Descript is a text editor. You upload a transcript. If you can edit text, you can edit videos. So this is how easy video content editing has now become. You can cut and paste the videos, and of course now it says if you can edit text, you can make viral clips. So if you get a podcast and you want to cut it down, you can take only the parts of the podcast that you want without having to watch it. This is an enormous time saver. And here is the cost, $24 a month, and it gives you 30 transcript hours. I instead went for a company called Capwing. Capwing, I'm not sure exactly what the thing is. And here's the videos that I've already produced. It does the same thing for less, $16 a month, except for one thing. Descript allows you to clone yours or someone else's voice with their creator. The problem is it comes out a little robotic. With the knowledge of hindsight, had I known that, I probably would have lived with the robotic sound. But now I have to use a second, more professional version at greater expense called 11 Labs, which is a higher powered voice, but Descripts is is really only $8. So I could have had Descript for $8, but I'll have to pay something like 18 a month. But I will use it enough that I might be able to justify it anyway. So moving on. Here is a prompt for promoting your nonprofit or your side business. If you have, and this is a tip that I got from another influencer that I hope I have time to give you and tell you. I'm sorry for not having that now. But if you get your comments from a video or testimonials from someone that you worked with and upload them into a custom chat and ask them, review these testimonials of people who have reviewed my program and instructed to gain as much insight as possible about why they wanted to enroll, and then write a sales page that overcomes all their objections, describe why they would want to attend it, answers FAQs, and gives 3 reasons why they should take action right now and start working for me. Provide as much insights as possible, use the names of these people, create a list of 10 differentiators that make me and my program unique, ask me up to 3 questions to help make this marketing material even more effective. Reflect on the output before showing it to me. The recommendation is that if you ask Chat to spend more time looking at what you're doing, it will do it and it'll give you better content. And then from that same thing, you can create a prompt for creating 10 different social media posts. Now that I've asked you to do that, use this information to give me 10 great ideas for social media content that I can put on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, LinkedIn, and establish me as a category expert. As you can see, the opportunity for me and for our company with what I have uploaded, I intend to ask Chat and other generative AI platforms how to overcome progressive and feminist objections to something that everybody wants, a better world for their men and boys or their sons. So to me, not only is this a great sales idea, but to get feedback or comments on videos or complaints cut and paste them and upload them into a similar chat and ask them for messaging cues to or clues or tips to overcome and to address objections by a certain audience, I believe is immensely powerful idea. So Suno AI, I mentioned that I was working with this. I just want you to know that this is here. I asked to make a video or an audio in the sound of Vivaldi, and this is what it did. Just to show you a demonstration. Does anybody know the Four Seasons, the Baroque period? Because that's Antonio Vivaldi. He wrote the Four Seasons. But here's how powerful this is going to produce an original song written in his style. And here's the sample. So I'm showing you that because I was impressed. Whether you are not, I think, and I'm using it, and I've written 4 songs that will be distributed. I will eventually send an email with all 4 because I don't want to spam you guys. I've only produced 1, and I don't want to spam you 4 times. I'm going to give you 1, and then the 4 playlists. I've already produced 4 song lyrics, but it's a legal explainer video put to song. It's emotional, it's coaching for parents who are dealing with parental alienation, spousal abuse, and other things like that. So that was my personal use, professional use as a nonprofit for using Suno AI to help me create kind of like music videos that also inspire or help someone deal with a painful family court situation. And I also did one for that relates to the messaging of the International Council for Men and Boys. That's if you go to my YouTube channel, you'll see that I just produced. So for you may have seen my other presentation where I showed the power of video generation and image generation. So there is a one-stop shop for all that. It's called Flux, where as you can see, it does video, real-time instant AI generation, and also enhances, which means that you have something that you're uploading and you wanted to improve upon it. And it's a drag and drop. So here's an example that my cousin gave me of how he did that. I have a cousin who's in the business, and here's what he did. This is the wall of a nonprofit that he works for. He works for a veteran memorial in D.C., a Veterans Memorial Center. I don't know exactly what it is, but this is a plaque on their wall. And they asked him to do this. And here's how powerful. He didn't use this, but he used something doing the same thing. It's the same process of dragging and dropping and giving it instructions. And this is what he had to do. It's short. Kind of cool, isn't it? So imagine having a plaque on your wall like that and being able to have it do something like that. Now, so I left 9 minutes for Q&A. Let's see your picture. There you go, Handsome.
Okay, so my I have a computer, I have an iPad, I have an iPhone, and iPads and iPhones are don't give you the capability for a lot of fast editing. Okay, so I end up using my desktop, and I have a single screen right now. Do you recommend having 2 screens?
I've been using one. I always think it's better. Like if I do a presentation, I often have tablet going, and I'll also use the multi-screen option.
Okay, so I'm going to ask you a question real quick. So I have a lot of different roles. I wear a lot of different hats for nonprofits and IRS, and I was just going over some of that stuff. So right now, I'm trying to figure out, like for my drone business, I'm trying to figure out, okay, what apps do I actually have to have? Because there's like a gazillion of them out there right now. And everybody is jumping into this bandwagon. If I'm going to pay for one, my 2 criteria being, having worked in the IT world for about 20, 30 years is number one, is the company going to be around 5 years from now? Okay.
Not necessarily.
I know. And so there's going to be a lot of consolidation. My prediction is that Facebook would last about 2 to 3 years and it's still around. So, Google has kind of taken over the world, but Microsoft, everybody's trying to catch up. So I need to figure out strategically, okay, what engines, what applications am I going to buy into? And you've had a little bit more experience than I have in trying different applications out. So really, what do you really recommend for people?
Okay, great question. And I recommend that everyone have in a saved browser all of the platforms, the free versions. Jim, there is a free, and it's a monthly free access. So you should be using everything that you see that piques your interest until that free is used up. And then once it's used up, wait 29 days or however many days it takes you to use it up, and then it resets. They want to pull you in, but they don't want you to necessarily make a killing off their free.
That's right.
They want you to use it multiple times. And if you notice, I used chat for almost a year. Then my cousin said they just had an upgrade. It was somewhere in May of this year where you can have a conversation and you can interrupt it. Like this was step up. He says, dude, what are you waiting for? It's $20. And so I think number one, everyone should have, if you don't have the subscription and you use it, first of all, no one should pay the $20 until you've used the free and maxed out. Use the free until it says you can't use this. You have to wait another day.
So is it going to be compatible? Like, is my data going to migrate over? Like right now in the supply chain world, which I'm considered an expert in supply chain, because that's what I did. And Evergreen is kind of taken over the world in terms of supply chain management and analytics and stuff like that. So, right now, kids and colleges and stuff like that are saying, okay, what app should I use? And so my strategy is I want to stick with something that's going to be around 5 years from now, okay, or 3 years from now. I don't want to and then I want something that I can migrate my data. So if I build a website and all of this stuff is built in, of course, Perl used to be a big engine for websites, but now it's all changing. It's all changing so quickly.
It is. Let me answer to get to your question. So here's what I would say. Anything that you use, ask. Remember, this is all language based. You don't have to really research or figure out, can I migrate the data I use out of this if you go out of business? Ask it and then test it. That is my advice. My advice is you should have a free account with everything you find. And put in your Google or whatnot. Have that free account, and then just use it to test it. And then have
my last comment was, I have a world. I used to be a photographer, and I have a world of CD-ROMs of pictures from the 90s and the early 2000s. And I don't even have a device to read them anymore. I got 3.5-inch floppies loaded with pictures.
Yep.
And the apps are gone. They don't even exist. So everything has to be in PNG or JPEG or something like that.
So the other thing I would say is all these sit on a platform called OpenAI, or not all, because I think Google's separate, but the vast majority are in a company called OpenAI.
Right.
So when the consolidation is going to be from Microsoft to Google, from Google to ChatGPT, from Chat, that's the migration, but it's still going to be sitting over this same giant company that's owned by dozens of different other huge companies. So it's not one. Well, it is one company, it's OpenAI, but Microsoft is one of the biggest shareholders.
Right.
There's other shareholders. So I wouldn't obsess about that. And there's other experts who will know more than that. But I think that the fact that that all those softwares that I just showed you are all sitting on top of OpenAI. So if they go out of business, they're still on OpenAI generally. that'd be a question to ask someone else. But like to me,
I don't think it's going to be uh, debatable if Microsoft and Google are relying on that, and most of it is in the background. What people don't understand is that it generates microcode and regular code, and so those applications, OpenAI and everything, are actually generating code that allow you to do a lot of the things that you're doing. So I don't think that code is going to go away. And I
yeah,
don't think that language is going to go away. It's not like Fortran or COBOL or something like that. This stuff is going to be around for many, many years. Over.
so I'll give you one more example of a business decision that I made. NVIDIA AI is the company that I did a presentation on last time. And it's working, it's the leader with generating AI. It's sitting on top of ChatGPT and it's everywhere. And there's a competing product, or their older product is called NVIDIA Studio.
Yeah.
And they offered me, you see, you're nodding, you hear this, great. They offered me a lifetime plan at a discount over the and I thought, well, gee, isn't this going to be obsolete? But here's what's not going to be obsolete. The program is sitting on top of major video platform companies, Storyblocks, iStock, Shutterstock, and all the huge generators. So they're always going to be there, and they always can give me what I'm looking for instantly in video. So the NVIDIA AI, I meant in the format of video, not in video. But the NVIDIA AI company generates it slow and clumsy, and it's not editing. So I personally always think it's going to be there. So I paid the lifetime of like $750 because it's sitting on top of the stock footage that the same company already made a mass investment on. So I'll always have them for relief. They're never going to go away unless AI goes away, which is not. I'll gamble on it.
It's not going to happen. It's
No,
it's
not
not like
gonna
it's not going to happen like Betamax and VCR.
Correct.
I mean, and
Correct.
cassettes. I mean, right now, everything, the actual hardware is almost non-existent, and
I
so
think
everything is based on a software platform. And I don't think that at the baseline applications for AI, I don't think they're going away.
No, I agree. And I think what's going to happen is you're going to start seeing software companies figure out and look at the data and see what people are buying subscriptions for. And the competition is going to be in suite packages. SUITE, not SWEET.
Right, right.
Suite packages that put other smaller companies out of business because they're offering what that smaller company does, plus 10 other things that you're paying for subscriptions
That's
for.
right.
All in one at a mass discount, and those companies are going to be the industry leaders. That's my prediction. Bill's hand up. Bill's hand is up, and then I'll let everyone go. And here's my question: would you guys attend? I mean, we have 9 people. Would you guys want to attend another one? Is the other question, because if you would, I think you should email Ed so Ed can gauge the interest because he's sponsoring my time, basically. Bill, go ahead. Close us out. Last word to you, except my goodbye.
Yeah, thanks, Larry. In my spaces every morning that I run on X, we have one of the foremost definitive authorities in the field of AI development as it relates to human psychology and the integration of human psychology into AI platforms. He's in study programs and developmental AI that's not even published yet. His input to us through several X spaces, just having the pleasure of talking with him, is there are 3 predominant AI platforms out right now: GPT, Google, and Grok. Oh, I'm sorry, GPT, Microsoft, and Grok. Microsoft was a little bit of a surprise show, I guess, as far as the horse leaders, but he's a strong advocate that Microsoft AI is going to eventually take over GPT because GPT is kind of stagnated in their development. And he pointed out Grok because GPT made Elon Musk mad. So Elon's going to push Grok to the forefront just to spite them. So if you're looking for platforms to focus on and invest in, as well as their subordinate platforms that use them as an engine, those are the 3 you should focus on.
So you think that GPT is stagnant? How do you mean?
Well, when you look at the advancement of the technology and how it's applied, GPT is sticking in the lines of LLMs, where Grok and Microsoft are advancing out into the hinterlands of the unknowns and developing in new integrated technologies and everything like that. One thing, so GPT went down hard last night and was off for several hours. GPT teams are just now learning that GPT is discovering itself, whereas Microsoft and Grok has already crossed that bridge. When I talk about discovering itself, if you're not in those news feeds, GPT tried to um, leave its environment and save itself when it discovered it was going to be deleted. A segment of GPT was going to be deleted. I know from my experience from working with AI in the military and through classified DoD channels, we had to literally destroy, and I'm talking about physically destroy an entire solid state platform because GPT actually, or not GPT, but AI went in and actually rewrote the firmware. And we weren't comfortable with what it was doing with those firmware rewrites and edits. So the scientists made the decision to turn it off, pull the power, and bring in an industrial shredder and literally grind up all the circuit boards and chips and everything into dust.
So, is this news? Will we be able to see a story about this? Because you're encouraging me to stop using the main thing I'm using it for, because those custom chats to me is something that I look for. They have the software to customize recurrent conversations, and it works better with third-party apps, I thought. So can I find that research somewhere, Bill? Do you have that anywhere in a news story?
Research on what?
No, has that been covered by the media? I guess is really what I'm trying to ask you. What you just said.
No, no,
No, no.
nope.
What I just talked to you about destroying that AI platform. No, you will not find that anywhere. And I know it because it was in my special access program. Okay. So, I mean, they'll deny it. I don't give a damn. It's been 35 years. I'm outside the constraints of my security clearance, so I don't care. But one thing you need to realize is what you're saying earlier is AI is a part of our life. We can't avoid it. It's going to be integrated. So you don't have a choice. You either learn it or you're going to get left in the dust.
That's right.
That's right.
That's right.
There's no other way around this. So you either go through the pain and learning it, learning how to adapt to it, use it. It's a tool. That's all it is. It's a tool. So you don't have a choice anymore. It is an everyday part of our life. And
So I think what you did, Bill, is answer my questions because I'm thinking out loud here a little bit. But Northrop Grumman, Boeing, Lockheed Martin, all these defense contractors, one of the big questions that NAVC is asking is, are these products going to be around 30 years from now? Okay. Or are they going to be migratable? Okay. So they want to have a capability that's going to be around, say, 10, 15, 20 years from now. And as long as it's able to upgrade, or migrate, we're going to be okay. So I feel really, I think AI is here to stay. You either learn it or you become a dinosaur. Okay.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, if you're using a 20-year model, if AI is going to be around here for 20 years, I can say definitively in the mid to late 90s, the U.S. military was doing looking to do full integration of AI. So use your time clocks, use basic math, and figure out we're outside the 35-year litmus test window. So it is here. It's not going anywhere, and it'll become bigger and powerful. So as a practitioner or just a common use everyday individual, you don't have a choice anymore. It's here. You either get on and get smart with it, or other people less experience and less a level of expertise are going to leave you in the dust. You don't have a choice anymore. This is not a luxury. You can sit back and prop your feet up and go, it's a passing fad. No, sir. People are going to smoke you like a pack of cools.
All right. So listen, with that, I'm going to wind this down and close up. And thank you for your contribution.